Psychics are people who claim to be able to do untold things with their mind. They can tell you things about you that you didn't even know. And they can apparently predict the future. Well, today I'm going to be picking through the bones of some predictions of a psychic that the UK press has dubbed the new Nostradamus. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon and Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Right, before we begin today, a massive thank you to the sponsors of this video, boot.dev. Boot.dev is building the smartest way to master back-end development. And that's by tackling the hardest problem with e-learning, boredom. The folks at boot.dev believe that the smartest way to learn code is to make sure you're never bored. It's online, self-paced, and feels a bit like a captivating RPG game. With boot.dev, you will learn back-end web development from start to finish in the Python and Go programming languages. And the platform is designed to get you writing a ton of code, because getting your hands on the keyboard and shipping projects is the only way to learn. And at boot.dev, they believe that learning code is not a get-rich-quick scheme. They believe in going deep and taking time in the fundamentals so that you are as prepared as you can be for your job search. But on top of that, they never ever want a student feeling like they've spent money on something that isn't helping them. So they offer a 30-day, no questions asked refund policy and a free demo of every course and its interactive features. Plus, they know that not everyone has the means to pay for a membership. So all of their content is free to read and watch in guest mode. A paid membership offers interactivity and the game that goes with it. Click the link in the description box and use my code SIMANDAN to get 25% off your first payment of boot.dev. That's 25% off your first month or your first year, depending on which subscription you choose. Right, on with today's video, which, as I said at the start, is all about psychics. Particularly one psychic by the name of Craig Hamilton Parker. Now, psychics and mediums are some of my bugbears, so keep an eye out for more content involving them in my Saturday sessions. But for now, we focus on Craig and his 2023 world predictions. Now let's have a look at some of his predictions and see how accurate he was. Now, please bear in mind that this video is a live stream from Craig that he published in November 2022. The live stream itself was over 35 minutes long, so I've skimmed through and picked out some of his predictions. And I've done this completely at random before knowing what he predicted, rather than pick every single prediction he looked at. And we start as he begins to discuss Putin.
I think Putin will eventually lose power. And I've said this right at the beginning. I mean, I said this in 2020, right when the Ukrainian crisis was happening, right at the very beginning, which would have been about this time last year. I said that I felt that Putin would be ill. Mentally ill. I felt if he had something, I felt he had like a tumor or something like that. And I feel that it may work itself out in 2023 and we may see the death of Putin.
Okay, well, that is a bit of a fail straight away. Putin is indeed still alive and very much still in power.
That may bring an end to the conflict, but I don't think it will. I feel the conflict would still grind on, and I feel there's more ahead. Sometimes when I do these things, I see sort of a shadow.
Probably your own, Craig?
And I felt a sort of a shadow coming over the kind of like the month of December. Now, I don't know if I'm talking about this coming December, because I'm making these predictions I always make my predictions in October. I've just missed it. We're just in the beginning of November now, in the 1st of November. But I had a bad feeling for December, and as if something really bad happens in the month of December. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if it's this December or December 2023.
Well, both have passed, and you could argue that the Israeli-Hamas war sort of counts here. But that started in October 2023. Let's move on to his next prediction.
Now, I said last year that there would be a war with Taiwan, and I said it would happen around this time, didn't I? I said it would happen around November at the time of the primaries in America. So let's see if I'm right with that, if we do see that starting to happen right now. But I do certainly feel that I think there will be conflicts over Taiwan, not just saber rattling as we've been getting at the moment. In fact, I feel that there's going to be a naval conflict around Taiwan, and that's how it will start. It will be a naval rather than a full-out invasion. But I feel it will be naval exchanges.
Now, tensions are no doubt high between China and Taiwan. But as of right now, there has been no conflict. Another fail, I'm afraid, Craig. Moving on.
But what I saw is that Israel hits the Iranian nuclear site. I feel as if there's going to be a sudden and unexpected thing happen in the Middle East. And the best I can understand it is that that sudden unexpected thing is going to be an air attack on Iranian nuclear facilities that can generate and make nuclear bombs. So I feel they're going to take it into their own hands, and I feel we're going to get a strike from Israel. This is going to be one of the significant things in 2023.
Okay, there was a significant thing to happen in 2023 with Israel, as we've already discussed, but it wasn't that. Half a point there, Craig. Is that fair?
Now, I also had a sense of some major kind of cosmic event.
Oh, this is my bag for sure.
In the solar system. Now, it was interestingly, I wrote this down yesterday that I was getting this feeling. I actually spotted today in the news, it said about a large meteorite that heads towards the Earth that won't actually ever get near us for thousands of years. So it's not that, I don't think, unless my mind was seeing that when I was doing the tuning in and it was something that was right on our doorstep. But no, I had a feeling of something like a huge solar flare. And I feel this would be significant, whether that reaches the Earth or whether it affects all of our technology or something like that. I see something like that happening in 2023. So
now, what I will say is that predicting a solar flare to happen in a certain year, when you get on average 12 a year, isn't for me the best prediction. That's like me saying, well, I'll definitely think there'll be a full moon next year. But in December of last year, 2023, an X5 class solar flare did happen. And the X class flares are the largest, but this is nowhere near the largest in history. And as you can see here, there was no need for concern. How do we rank that one? Quarter of a point?
I can't explain exactly what it is. I can't see everything. I see parts of things. I get feelings of things. But that was another thing that I think would be extremely significant in the year ahead.
Unlucky Craig on that one. Moving on again, let's have a look at Craig answering some of his audience's questions.
And the midterms, I've kind of talked about in my earlier predictions. I know I wanted to wait before I do my predictions about America until after the midterms. I still hold with what I said at the beginning, that I feel the Republicans are going to sweep the board there.
Now, I assume he's talking about the 2022 midterms here, which would have taken place a couple of weeks after this live stream. And whilst the Republicans did not sweep the board, so to say, they did achieve a very small majority. But I have to say, predicting a two-horse race, it's 50-50, isn't it? Especially when you've already got insight into how the public in general are feeling about the current party in power.
South Africa, I'll see what I can say about South Africa. In a way, you do have to have a little bit of a knowledge of these things as well as the insight, because I might be talking about things I just don't know.
You don't say. Look, I think that was a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. Make of those predictions what you will, everyone. But I think now I want to know what's going to happen to me in 2024. And it looks like Craig has got a Scorpio predictions video for 2024. Let's have a little look.
So as you saw at the start, I mentioned about that Pluto is moving into Aquarius. And this is very important for you because it's after a long period of time. And Pluto has a very, very strong effect upon the sign of Scorpio. And this is a long-term movement, and it's in and out for a while, Pluto, but it will mean that you'll be thinking much more about much longer term changes in your life. You're going to start thinking about doing things in new ways. It might mean also that you're clearing out some of the people in your life that you've been unhappy with.
I'm not unhappy with anyone in my life at the moment.
Round, round, round.
Oh.
The earth is round. Smart
Call
people.
from the wife. Hello? Yep. The dog's done what?
It'd be a time of clearing out, basically, a changeover from one period to another period. You'll be thinking in longer terms. You'll be thinking about perhaps some people have got on your nerves too long and enough is enough. And I've had enough of those. I'm going to just focus on the people I like. I feel there's going to be a lot more of this with you. You're going to find out who your true friends are. We all of us have so many friends, don't we? On Facebook, you have hundreds of friends, and you think, well, actually, in reality, you've probably got about 5 decent friends.
Ha! Wrong. I've got 2. So there.
It's also going to be a very good time for anything associated with property and buildings, things like this. So it could be quick and fast changes made with property deals that could bring unexpected good fortune.
Okay, Craig, keep talking, keep talking.
There's the unexpected coming to you this year, and travel opportunities, particularly around September, the 17th eclipse could be very good for you. A travel opportunity around that time of September, mid to late September, 17th in particular, when the eclipse is, could give you the impetus, the desire to do maybe a big travel, maybe that big journey that you've always wanted to do could happen at that time.
Interesting. Now, nothing is jumping out at me at the moment, but I guess that's the beauty of this. We don't know until we know. But seriously, I think you all know by now that I find astrology to be complete nonsense. What Craig is doing here is giving us examples of Barnum statements. And P.T. Barnum, who famously said there's a sucker born every minute, meaning when it comes to these statements which gives general characterizations to an individual concerned, they are perceived to be true for them, even though that those statements are so generalized that they could apply to absolutely anyone. I don't really like it, and as you can see, it's very, very vague. Well, there we go. What do we think of Craig's predictions there for the year 2023? How do you think he got on? Let me know in the comments what you think. But I'm afraid we're all done and dusted for another Tinfoil Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. It is, of course, truly appreciated, as always. If you enjoyed it today, please do hit that thumbs up button. And of course, if you really enjoyed it, you can consider subscribing to the channel too. Just enough time to once again thank boot.dev for sponsoring today's video. Remember, click the link in the description and use my code SIMANDAN to get 25% off your first payment towards boot.dev. And that's 25% off your first month or your first year, depending on which subscription you choose. I've been SIMANDAN. Have yourselves a great week, and I'll see you on Friday for the return of the Flat Earth King of Twitter, Mr. Caleb Flat Earth. See you then.